If quarantine has got you down, tune in for another round of Missy Music Class.
Hey guys, welcome to another week of Miss C's Music Class, and we are on a field trip today. I've brought you here. We're at First Baptist Church. There's nobody else here but us, so we're all safe. And we are going to take a look at one of my favorite families of all. It's the last family we have to talk about. We've done the brass family. We did the strings family. We did the woodwind family. We've done them all, and now it is time for the biggest family of all. Do you know what it is? It's the percussion family. So today we're going to look at tons of percussion instruments and take a look at those and how much fun they are. I've got two special guests here with me today. Let's see, who do we have joining us? Quarantine has done something to them. I don't know. So percussion instruments, they can strike, shake, or scrape. All right, so we're going to have examples of all three of those things today. All right, Abby Rose, I think you've got some examples of some percussion instruments that you shake. How about those maracas? Give us a whirl. That would fit in the shake category, wouldn't it? All right, Ashley Grace. Let's see. How about some jingle bells? What category would that be in?
The shake.
The shake category, that's right. Okay, here I've got some tiny cymbals here. What category would that be in? Strike. All right, perfect. How about those eggs there? What kind of chicken laid those eggs, Abby?
Percussion eggs.
A musical chicken. Shake them. Oh. All right, so we've got shaker X that you shake. Now everybody knows what this instrument is called. A what? Tambourine. Good job. All right, now this one's a little different because you can shake it, and you can also tap, strike it. I love a tambourine. Ole. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Oh, this one. What is it shaped like? Do you see what that is?
Square.
It is a triangle. Makes a nice light sound. Now, in the olden days, you know what they used to do? Come and get it! What would that be?
Dinner.
Your dinner bell. Now what do? You just get a text, I guess. Come get dinner. All right. Now, these are fun. Remember we had these at school? We played these before. These. Remember what they're called? Boom whackers. I could think of something great to do with these. But they're boom whackers, right? They're pitched different. And you can have the whole set and play a song. All right, Ashley Grace, show us what in the world is that? What's that called? It's a vibra-slap. Now, there is a very famous song that this is used in. We listened to it at Christmas, I believe. Sleigh Ride. That's right, sleigh ride. So it makes the sound of the horse whip. Ready and woo! So all fun things in percussion family. Now that brings up a great point. Did you know that percussion instruments are used a ton of ways when they're creating movies? Movies, TV shows, like if the leaves are rustling underneath their feet, you know, or maybe they're walking into the desert and they hear this sound.
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake. So you never know. You hear percussion instruments all the time in commercials, TV shows, all that good stuff. Now this is a fun one. What's that called?
Cowbell. Cowbell.
The cowbell. Always need more cowbell. All right, so these are a lot of the instruments that we have at school. You've seen these before, we've played them, and so we're going to take a look at a couple of instruments that we don't necessarily have at school. But let's take a look first. We do have one of these at school. Let's take a look at the bongos. All right, well, the bongos were in quarantine. So we're going to take a look at the cousin of the bongos. These are the congas. Now, the congas are nice and big. You can see how big they are. And if you look in the bottom, I can lift it up. What's there? A hole, right? You see the hole? All right, so it has a hole in the bottom so that the sound can come out and vibrate, right? Now, this one is a smidge bigger than this one. So do you think that the sound will be a little different? I think so. Let's take a listen. What'd you discover? This one that is smaller makes a higher sound, and this one has the lower sound. Now, when you play those, you use the tips of your fingers. Right? If I use the middle part, it sounds a little different. Here's the edge. Okay, same thing over here. So these are fun instruments to play. Let's see, I was trying to think of a song that we heard that had a lot of bongos in it this year. We listened to Turn the Beat Around by Gloria Estefan. That had some congas in it. When we do the limbo, that has congas in it. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go take a look at another instrument. Let's go to the drum set next. Next, we have the drum set. Now, in percussion, you have to use, a lot of times, different kind of mallets or drumsticks. These drumsticks are what you use when you're playing the drum set, and if you look, you can see that they're a little bit tapered at the end, different than the mallet I use when I play the cowbell. This drum set here is an electronic drum set, so it's just a little bit different. It's smaller than a normal drum set, but it makes the same sounds as the drum set. So here you've got the bass drum. I'm mashing that with my foot. All right, and then we've got, so fun to play. And let's add a little bit of cymbal. Instruments in the percussion family that you strike, because we're using the drumsticks and we're striking them. Super fun. It reminds me of Animal on the Muppets. All right, next, let's go to the great big timpani drums. Here we have the great big timpani. Now they use these in the orchestra, and we read a story at the beginning of the year. Remember Farkle McBride? I remember one of the funniest pictures in that book is when he's sitting there like this, getting ready to play the big timpani. He's got that crazy look on his face, getting ready to play. These instruments are really big. So do you think they make a loud sound or soft sound? That's right, they make a loud sound. Now they're different sizes. This is the biggest one that we have right here. And then they gradually get a little bit smaller. So let's take a listen to what they sound like. Wow, isn't that a big sound? Now you notice my mallet looks a little different than when I played the drum set. The mallet here, see, has the nice soft end here that you need to have when you play the timpani. All right, so here's the smallest one. Here's the biggest one. Same concept we've been talking about each week. The bigger it is, the lower the sound. The smaller it is, the higher the sound. All right? And when it vibrates, notice how I'm not playing it, it's still making a sound. If I put my hand here, I'm stopping the vibration, so it stops the sound. Fun instrument to play is the timpani. Super fun. All right, next instruments that we're going to take a look at. Let's take a look at the chime tree, the Glockenspiel, and another fun one. Let's take a look. All right, now here I am in this little area. You notice there's a lot of percussion instruments around me. That's kind of what it is to be a percussionist. You've got to be able to play many different percussion instruments in the orchestra. A percussionist, they don't just have one. They might specialize in one certain instrument, but they usually get to jump around and play different things. That's why it's so cool to be a percussionist. You know, one thing else that's really important about a percussionist, you got to be able to stay on the beat. That's important. Usually the percussionist drives the song, drives the orchestra, and keeps everybody right together. So that's an important quality to have as a really good percussionist. All right, so let's take a look here. Right here is the Glockenspiel. Now you notice that my mallet looks different than it did with the timpani, and it has a little metal ball on the end there. These are much smaller mallets. Let's take a listen to the Glockenspiel. All right, so the Glockenspiel makes a real high sound. That's the longest bar there. The highest bar makes a high sound. Same thing we've been talking about. All right, this one's fun here because imagine that you're in the forest and the good fairy came down and said, that's a fun sound. The magical princess came across the castle. This is a chime tree, all right? And it's a great example of, even though it makes the whole thing makes a high sound, this one, this end is lower than this end. You hear that? Hear how it gets lower? And then it gets higher. Pretty cool, huh? All right, now let's take a look at this big instrument here. Does anybody know what this is called? These are the standing chimes. All right, so they're standing up on this stand here, and you use this kind of a mallet. It looks like a hammer, doesn't it? It's a hammer mallet. All right, now at the bottom it has a pedal that you mash, you press to allow the chime to vibrate. Reminds me of the movie of The Hunchback of Notre Dame when he's up there swinging and he hears the bells. Now, if I don't press the pedal, listen to what it sounds like. That's not a very pretty sound, is it? When you release and press down the pedal, it allows the tubes, the chiming, to vibrate. When I let off, it stops. Let's take a look at our next instrument. The marimba. All right, now here is the grand marimba. Take a look at this beautiful instrument right here. Isn't it amazing? This is huge. Now, the marimba has wooden bars on it, very similar to the xylophone. The difference is a marimba has more octaves. It has more notes on it than the xylophone. If you look down here, below each bar is a tube, okay? And in that tube, it has an opening at the top of the tube So when you strike the bar, the sound goes down the tube, the vibrations, and that's what makes the sound. Now these are the longest bars here, so let's start at this end. What happened? Tiny bar up here made the higher sound, and way down there at the other end, the big bars made the low sound. A marimba, a percussionist can major in marimba, and it's amazing to watch people use more than one mallet. Now notice how these mallets are different. They have a bigger yarn ball at the end, and sometimes they can play 2 or 3 mallets in each hand and play back and forth. Now, I'm not that good at marimba, but let's see if we can play a song that you recognize. Let's see, here we go. Do you recognize that? What composer is that from? Beethoven. Ode to Joy, right? Awesome. So this is a very grand instrument. Do you think this instrument's probably pretty expensive? Yes, that's why a lot of people do not have one of these, and they're very hard to fit in your car, aren't they? Huh. All right, let's go talk about one more aspect of the percussion family. Join me up here. Now, those were just a few of the instruments in the percussion family. Really, the instruments in the percussion family are endless. If you can strike it, shake it, scrape it, I mean, limitless, the possibilities. So let's talk about what you can do at home to create your own percussion family band with all the things you have at home. What can you use? What do you got there, Abby?
A bowl.
Simple bowl from the kitchen and a
Spoon.
wooden spoon as her mallet, right? Give it a beat. That makes a nice sound, doesn't it? What about these? Tongs. That makes a cool sound. What you got, Asher Grace?
I also had a spoon.
Spoon and a bigger bowl. Now hear how that makes a different sound from this one because it's metal. This one's loud. That one is softer. A jar of beans. Now what about this? What about this, girls? A piece of paper. Do you think that'll work? You think I'm crazy?
Maybe a little.
A little? Yeah. Look at this paper. Play. You can jam out with your whole family with things you have around the house. And stop. Good job. All right. Now, we have forgotten about the best percussion instrument that we have. It's something that we all have together. Do you know what that is?
Your body.
Your body, yourselves. You've got your hands. Fingers.
I can't see.
Can't snap. It's okay, you can clap. Your mouth.
What?
Feet. Your neighbor. Wow. Or if you're in quarantine, you don't have a friend. You might need 6 feet away, right? Air. So all kind of things that you can do. Now, one thing that we're going to end with today is our best beatbox. All right, let's see who has the best beatbox. All right, here we go. Contest. Abby?
Start us off, Mom. Yeah, start us off.
My beatbox is not very good and they make fun of me.
come on.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. That's it. That's about my extent.
Whoa,
All right, Asher Grace, let's hear it.
Your
Your best beatbox.
Hi-hat?
Yes.
Is that this one?
No.
No.
Sure. Hit it. Pretty good. All right, Abby Rose, let's hear your beatbox. The best you got. Ready to go. Good job. All right, let's hear behind the camera, Mr. C, give us your best beatbox. Ready? Go.